Hello, my name is Justin, and this is the final conversation video for an online booking and reservations rentals website that I was a part of making. Specifically, I built the service component handling reviews and listing info. And in this video, I will outline the challenges I faced during the second half of the design and development process, specifically regarding deployment to AWS. So the first challenge I faced was regarding the setup and installation of Docker, a technology used to stage our application images in order for mounting into AWS. I have a Windows 10 Pro machine, and I knew going in that there would be a host of issues regarding compatibility, security, configuration, because I had Windows, but I didn't know that the scale of these issues would be so vast. Just getting the Docker up and running took a lot more effort and research than anyone else that I have worked with prior. Documentations written with Mac users in mind for the most part. It takes a bit more searching to find forums and blog posts from Windows users. I had to learn all about settings configurations, going into directories, learning about relative paths versus absolute paths and how relative paths just don't work with Windows PowerShell. More specifically, Windows users have to manage sort of a different directory syntax than Mac users do, and most documentation doesn't follow that. Furthermore, there were security issues, privilege issues, administrator privilege issues when attempting to share or expose the working directories and drives where my project was housed on my computer. For some reason, Windows Active Directory doesn't work with Docker at all. I had to figure out how to create a new local user account just with the same username and password as my login, just for the purpose of sharing the C drive. After that, I then had to ensure that each working directory that Docker was referencing had security settings set up so that it would allow that. This took a long time to figure out for myself, and it wasn't like I could ask anyone for help because most people, actually no one else, was using Windows 10 Pro in the way that I had set it up. So I guess as a result, I am considering using a Mac environment in the future, and struggling hard through Windows definitely enhanced my understanding of the Windows operating system as a developer. The second challenge I faced was general Docker proficiency. This is a new system, and there's a new host of commands to learn. That said, practice makes perfect. I spent a solid day using Docker and running through the tutorial, and by the end of that day, I probably felt 50% proficient, that I could do it all again at best. I was able to review with another colleague the commands and everything we had done, which greatly solidified my understanding of what we had just done with Docker. Building, tagging, pushing to Docker, and then pulling from Docker to AWS. That whole process and drawing out that conceptual flow chart of actions definitely helps. The third challenge or issue that I face is more soft, and it was regarding group dynamic and group morale when a project member had quit. Firstly, our group was pretty demoralized when this happened. We were all getting along really well, so it didn't make sense to us why he was leaving. On his side of things, he left for his own reasons, practical and personal, that we don't need to go into. But the point is that not emotionally, it affected us, and I feel like the emotions definitely affected our workflow, and for a bit during the time. In addition to that, we had to refactor our design process and account for us taking in another component, the same component, but another component that we didn't necessarily plan a design for during our planning process, and then inserting that into our own code to use. That just took more time, effort, and it was a distraction in the end. Definitely more of a struggle than we signed up for, but Group dynamically, our group was stronger in the end because of it, I'd say. So sad that it happened, but we got it done still. I think that's about it for the challenges that I faced. It's about a time that I have. Thank you for watching my video and have a great day.